theticketfm.com.
Let's get it. 402-464-5685. Starter Hammond text line. Honda Lincoln hotline. If you want to come on in and say hello, say what's up, add to the conversation, you can do so. You can follow us on the Starter Hammond video stream, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter Live. Whatever way you want to do it, we got you set up. Jay Foreman, let them know.
The Mercado, 84th and Havelock, certified Piedmontese, and the Butcher Shop. The Butcher Shop has any type of meat, any type of cut that you want. In the Butcher Shop, they have take-home food or take-home menu. They have seafood, their own spices, their own sauces, beef jerky, pasta, vegetables, turkey jerky. They have everything. So
we are lucky. Did you get the tomahawk?
I did.
Yeah, boy. Go ahead.
Cooked to perfection.
Go ahead. Tell me. Take us through
2 days.
Take us through it.
Well, I like to marinate mine for overnight for a day. Okay. Light though, because the meat, the meat's so good. And then I like my stuff medium. I know you like your stuff well, but I like my stuff medium.
That's because I'm not an alien.
And the thing is you always know it's good is when you really want when it's off the bone, but you want to just bite the bone a little bit. I won't describe the other part because people already be listening, but it was good, man. It wasn't good, it was great. So
I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that. That's on my list.
It's so good you just don't want to eat it all at once. You want to spread it out.
Let's welcome back Hokie King, Nathan Brenner.
Didn't bring the Hokies no luck either.
No, not any luck. They covered the spread though. That's a start.
Oh man, that's something. Man,
anticipation trophy. Right. Boy,
that's almost as bad as Iowa saying we won second place in the Big Ten.
Yeah, like you got
we lost the Big Ten championship.
All right,
let's hang a banner.
We'll take whatever we can get at this point. Virginia Tech, not great. It's the first
not great, Bob.
In the new regime. Brent Pry will be fine. He's saying all the right things. We'll be all right.
What are the right things? Help me understand.
Well, he said that he's going to start recruiting in the state of Virginia again. Which is a start.
Did you tell him to call me?
I should.
Yeah, you probably should. You probably should.
Because we need to. Because that's the thing with Fuente. He did the exact opposite. He recruited everywhere but Virginia. So he said,
we can't talk about Justin Fuente. We can't talk about Scott Frost anymore. So that's right. Just stop. That's got to be done. But it must be something about
his players.
You know what it is? It must be about them something. Well, Mickey's a quarterback, so I shouldn't say that. But yeah, man. I mean, it's you got to recruit the local cat.
Virginia Tech will be all right, but it was homecoming and got to see some old buddies from college.
They were not all right, bro. I watched 32 minutes of it. That was it. The final 16 of those, I had to fight myself. I had to you sit here and leave that on the channel. And I kept holding the remote, Jay Foreman.
How much?
Jay, I was pointing the remote, but I was like,
turning?
Man, look.
Give him 5 years. 5 years.
5 years?
We'll be back. We'll be all right.
Are you serious?
We'll be fine.
You're willing to wait 5 years?
I'm telling you right now, Justin Fuente has torn that program to the ground. Like it's
5 years.
It's bad. It'll take a while.
Who are these people?
It'll take a while.
They can wait 5 years for success.
I don't believe that.
You think it'll be? I hope it's sooner.
I just don't believe. I don't believe football is that hard.
It's not, right?
I mean, is it 5 years to get back to what the Virginia Tech that we know and love, or 5 years to where you're respectable and consistent?
Oh no, I would hope that's I'm talking about 5 years to get back to competing for an ACC championship.
Against Slim B up there. Okay, I got you. Yeah, and that's understandable.
10 becoming a 10-win football
I got
team.
you.
Yeah, but you know what he better do? He better beat UVA.
Because UVA
is
rough.
He better beat UVA, or it's going to be a problem.
It will be a problem.
It's going to be a problem.
Virginia Tech doesn't lose to UVA.
Except for they do.
It doesn't. I think in the past 16 years, it's happened once. And when UVA beat them, they went to the ACC championship game. Bryce Perkins was the quarterback. Yeah. He was pretty good.
Yeah, and that's what they had. That defense was real good.
Look at Nathan setting a standard for winning. I am so impressed by that.
Right.
I am so impressed by that. It's 4-1.
Yep.
4-1. Yankees are up 4-1 over the Guardians, and it took me until this morning to stop calling them the other name. So I finally got Cleveland Guardians right, and I was so proud of myself right as their season is about to end.
Right.
Jay, let me ask you, have you ever been on a team, college or pro, where you couldn't stay in the same hotel?
When I played for the Giants, and this was weather. It was they had a real bad rainstorm. We were playing somewhere out on the West Coast. And so we had to vacate our hotel, and then, we had to, split up. But yeah, just like that. But nothing like what they faced, where they was like, oh yeah, we don't want to accommodate you.
Like
this was a weather thing, and then they must have had some like conference there.
Yeah, but the rule. So when I was in DC working for Grand Hyatt, I negotiated the team official team hotel contracts. So you knew for the Wizards, the Caps, the Redskins, that the rule was in order for you to be the official hotel of the NFL and of an NFL team, there has to be an override in rooms. Always. Always. The rule is this: if stuff happens, you have to tell everybody else, I'm gonna walk you somewhere else. Now, the beauty about Hyatt is that we had 4 other Hyatts within the area, and we could just move other people to different places, and they could still be within distance. But I would imagine this: one, that the Guardians will receive a check from the Yankees for, ready for this, 1,000 times the budget for rooms. 1,000 times the budget. And then whatever hotel they use in this year, they will not be used next year, because the league is not going to have it. Like, it's an embarrassment. It's just not allowed. You just can't do it. So shame on the Yankees for what they did. I said this morning I was going to root for the Guardians just for that very reason. You just don't do that to people. You just don't do that. And this is the league. Can you imagine the NFL having to call somebody and say, well, we had to send the defense over to the Marriott, and
Caps really wouldn't. I don't think it really would jam guys up, though, because you're kind of separated anyways. The NFL is different. You really only see guys. You really don't see them because guys go over at different times for the game. A lot of times the quarterbacks and the kickers and all them, they go over so early. They go over like with the trainers.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they be there early. Like game be, like 1 o'clock. They be over there at like 9. Like, man, what you doing over there at 9 o'clock in the morning? I'm sure they're watching tape and doing everybody's got their pregame routine. So
1 o'clock game. What was your schedule on Sunday? 1 o'clock kickoff.
I will always take the last bus because I want to get there
and get to work.
I'm already I already had my pre-routine before I got there. Before I got on the bus, I want to get there, get tape, kick off, and kick ass. That's it. I ain't got time to be out here playing games.
What time did you wake up?
Well, as a rookie, was your schedule the same your rookie year as when you were established as a veteran?
I didn't know what my rookie year. I'm on the first bus.
That's right.
But as you get kind of in your routine, it's fine. But I'll be up early. I wake up hyped. Like let's go.
Yeah.
Do you wake up earlier if you're on the West Coast?
I wake up. I don't give a damn. I'm just like, hey, look, if I'm up early, I know I can crank it up for 3.5 hours. So it don't matter to me.
Who did you like to travel with? Who was your roommate? Because later you get the room to yourself.
Yeah,
but back then you had a roommate.
My first 4 years or my first few years in Buffalo, first 3 years in Buffalo, I had a roommate, and then my 4th year I was by myself. You got veteran status or whatever. I was with Keith. We were drafted together. Keith Newman and Sean Bryson. They're volunteer, Tennessee volunteers. Give them shout outs. They act like they probably drank 18 gallons of moonshine this weekend. Yeah, I was like, dog. You guys gave up like 50.
Still mad at Jay Foreman about taking that.
You guys know that you guys are pulling down the goalpost and you guys gave up like 52 points, right? But so it was them, and we were cool because they both were like, everybody just kind of stays out of each other's own way, and then just go to the game. And then when you're on your own, you just kind of figure out when you go. And then when you're like home game for Houston, you would drive the hotel and then you just drive the game. So because some guys,
Where did you stand on for a home game, wanting to stay home or staying at the team hotel?
Oh, I'd rather stay at a hotel. Especially, when I was one of my rookie year and I really wasn't playing that much, it was like, you're playing special teams. I was lucky enough. Buffalo, we were good. So we weren't punting a lot. Teams weren't really scoring a lot because they do, but we were doing, kickoffs. But our kicker was good, so we were really. You weren't getting a lot of action. It really didn't matter. I always rather stayed at the hotel. Just kind of just used to it from college. I just think if guys got home, there'll be too much distraction. You might not even go anywhere.
Tickets, family, kids.
You're up just hanging out too much. it's good because you got before the game, you have your dinner, you have a time you have to report, you got a dinner, which is not mandatory, but you might as well just go eat, and then you got team meeting, offense defense breakup, special teams meeting, then kind of like the last little quick, and then when you got dessert, or whatever, late night snack, and then you got curfew. So it's really not that big. Then the next morning, everybody's up early.
And then a ton of film study together.
Well, that's what the offense and defense meetings are.
Right. So
and then if you break off into, watching afterwards, but a lot of stuff you do a lot of that work all the way through Saturday or through Friday.
Those early years for you, rookie years early, though that was the beginning of cell phones, right? That's when you really started to be connected.
Yeah, look, I think I had a Nextel phone, but I liked the Nextel because you could talk on the walkie-talkie,
right?
And you didn't have to use your minutes,
right?
So and then you got to the
Nathan. You don't know about the minutes, man.
Yeah, Sprint.
I kind of do a little bit. I had a flip phone back in I want to say early high school.
We had the Nextel,
where you wouldn't talk to people during the week, and then you had to wait until at night,
the minutes were free. At night or in the morning.
Yeah, when the minutes are free, and then you tell people, "Look, I just can't talk to you because I don't
keep
have
it quick.
Minutes.
Don't call me. Just get to it, or don't answer." Then they had the little. T-Mobile where they had the thing where you could flip up and you had the little
BlackBerry joint that you could do that.
Oh, the BlackBerry was terrible.
BlackBerry.
Did you ever have a pager, Nathan?
No, that was before me.
Jay,
mine was like the flip one that had the keyboard.
Yeah, BlackBerry.
Yeah.
So that was a BlackBerry.
And I had one that slid. It would you would slide it up.
That was
it was pretty cool.
Yeah. But I had a pager and all that stuff.
I can see.
I don't know how a pager works. I don't really know what it is.
Dial the number and put your number. Then you just put your number.
Literally, all you could do is put in your number to their number, and it just tells them to call them to call that.
Oh, so it's just basically call me,
right? Or if you was next level like Jay Foreman, you had special code words that were connected to numbers that said certain things.
No, I didn't have any of that.
You get them late night. You get the late night text where it's like letters. You kind of go, "Oh, okay, I know what you mean." I don't. No, those are the rules, man. It's an interesting time with the bye week and that healing time. Jay, what do you do? What do you recommend for players on a bye week where you're banged up, you're beat up, but you still need to get some work in? What do you recommend for the young people?
I mean, you got practice. So practice, whether you're corrections from last week, install adjustments or anything like that, probably getting some young guys a lot of reps, I'm assuming. So, obviously that doesn't change. You're not preparing for a game, but that means but I also think that you shouldn't shut off football. So if you need to get healthy, this is a great week to really, that's your game, right? So all your excess time should be trying to get healthy, enough to be, full strength next week. And then, for players that are playing, this is when you need to get a leg up. You got to look at what you did and didn't do well against Purdue and how you and we can do better the next week and really study on Illinois, because there's plays to be had, plays to be made. But if you just kind of take it to where I'm going to go through the motions and wait for, say, I don't know how many practice, say they have 3 practices, and then you're going to try to, as soon as practice is over, you're going to try to hit, Omaha Airport and go home and just, hang out for a weekend like you arrived. Like, you 3-4 right now. Okay, you're playing for a bigger purpose. You could quite possibly, obviously, if everybody acts right and everybody's, entrenched, you can make a bowl game. You can win 7 games. And so, if it's done right and the mindset's right, so it's going to be interesting. The leaders, the guys that are your captains and leaders, have got to make sure that message is clear to everybody, including the young guys that might not even play, because last thing you want to do is be that guy that's jammed up and losing the focus. Then you're the focus of, when the game week starts. So I think there's plenty of stuff that they can do. Definitely be productive, and also think they definitely have a lot of good tape to coach and adjust off, and then they have some corrections they have to do the same as well. So I think it's nothing but a work week, man. It's just you just don't have a game this week.
We will go to break. When we come back this Saturday, we're eating pancakes. top level event. We'll bring in, we'll talk, break it down a little bit, figure out how to get, like, how many pancakes, Nathan, how many pancakes do you think Jay Foreman has ever eaten at one time?
In one sitting?
One sit.
18.
No.
You don't think you get 18?
No.
We'll get
Back in the day, they'd probably get at least 10.
Okay, we'll get it. We'll get some details in that. We'll talk about this event for the local, the Lincoln Kiwanis, when we come back to Old School.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese Beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
If you need to sell equipment and trucks, Ritchie Brothers' new Lincoln Satellite Yard lets you free up space at your property and get local access to all Ritchie Brothers auctions. Drop your equipment off and sell it online at any Ritchie Brothers auction, Iron Planet, or via Marketplace E. The yard is at 8801 US 6 Lincoln. It's secure and makes for easy in-person buyer inspections and pickup. Take advantage of this yard to sell at Ritchie Brothers' Great Plains Regional Auction, September 15th and 16th. For details, visit rbauction.com/Lincoln.
Fall has arrived, and it's the perfect weather for the DIY market to listen to the game while building a deck. Deck City is a great place to start as Lincoln's local source for everything decks. Deck City has everything you need to build the deck of your dreams, from treated lumber to Westbury aluminum railings and TimberTech composite decking. They offer advice from real deck professionals to give you proper guidance to make your project go smooth. Call them today to schedule an appointment at 402-480-6671 or go online at deckcityne.com.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric is the call I make when I have a need for plumbing services. Whether it's for my home or office, if I need a repair to a water heater, softener, or even my garbage disposal, I know I can count on Action to help. In one simple call, their amazing customer service team promptly schedules a service call, often getting to my needs within a day. Action delivers honest quality services we can count on. To learn more, visit actionlincoln.com.
Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. It's soul food right here in Lincoln. Ribs, wings, catfish, coleslaw, cornbread, grits. I mean, I'd say it's food like your grandma used to make, but my grandma never made food like that. If you haven't already, you've got to give it a try. Check out their location across from South Point at 27th and Pine Lake, or find their food truck at events all over town, or visit them online at maryellens.com to see the full menu. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Let them fix you a plate.
Halloween is getting closer and closer. Have you been hearing some scurrying in the house when you've been watching scary movies? Don't freak yourself out any longer. From October 17th to October 31st, Bats to Rats is offering free bat and mice inspections in Lincoln and the nearby surrounding areas. If you're outside that region, they're still offering 50% off to come out to you. Don't miss out on this offer. For free bat and mice inspections through Halloween, call Bats to Rats today at 402-310-0904.
Hi, this is Kurt, your shop manager at A1 Automotive here in downtown Lincoln. My promise to you is this: you won't find another automotive repair facility that genuinely cares about you and your vehicle. Our service is outstanding and our customer service is better. Please give me a call for all your automotive repair questions and needs. Call me at 402-477-4660. We were built on small town values, and that shows in how we treat others. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Hey, it's Nicklin Hames from Nebraska Volleyball. I hate wasting time in practice, and I want to help you stop wasting your time when you're looking for an electrician. High Electric has been serving the area for over 30 years for both residential and commercial properties. They are experts in everything like remodeling, new additions, hot tub installation, and more. And they take jobs from Beatrice to Omaha and all towns, big or small, in between. Call them today at 402-466-6606 or learn more at high-electric.com.
In your busy life, very little is free, but your next home might be a bit less than you think with a free appraisal from Security First Bank. Free home appraisals from Security First Bank. We're the bank. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender. Offer valid through December 31st, 2022 on secondary market new home purchase loans only. One free appraisal per transaction. Appraisals paid for by lender at closing. Subject to lender qualifications. See lender for details. NMLS number 505011.
Lose fat, build muscle, gain endurance. Whatever your goal, Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping can help you achieve it. Farrell's offers group fitness for all levels in a fun, welcoming environment. Their proven method combines kickboxing, cardio, and strength training to get you in the best shape of your life. You've heard all about their 10-week challenges, but you can join as a member anytime. Head to fxbeatlincoln.com to learn more. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping at 40th and Yankee Hill or just south of 78th and Pioneers.
Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back. It is a bye week for the Huskers, but not a bye week for those active superheroes in town. They've got stuff to do, and the purpose is loud. Let's bring in Mark Skolnick. Kind sir, what's happening?
It's Pancake Festival week. That's what's happening.
Oh, how do you feel? You ready?
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, this takes a lot of volunteers to make happen, and it's going to be an early morning on Saturday. We may not have a football game, but I guarantee you there's going to be a lot of us up at 5 in the morning, 4 in the morning to get out there and get the griddles going and ready for a 7 a.m.
Yeah,
start.
you're preparing for a game. I wanted to ask you, as excited as you are every year, are you just as excited when it's over? You know, not that you don't. Obviously the purpose is obviously great, but it wears on you a little bit, and you hit your Super Bowl, and then you're like, I'm glad when the last person walks out, that's your confetti.
I would imagine because the event goes till 2, and a lot of volunteers will be involved in cleaning up, but it'll probably be a 10-hour day easy. And I guess it'll be time to wind down. Yeah.
And then you start preparing for next year on Monday.
Yeah.
Right away. Like it's Belichick. Yeah, we got to get ready for next year.
One day off.
You got to get ready for the 64th annual.
You got your 24-hour rule.
It's Sunday.
Well, it looks decent because instead of the kind of morning we had this morning, I spoke too soon. At 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 7 o'clock, it'll be 40 to 44.
We can handle that.
Yeah.
Okay. We can handle that. This morning it was like in the teens, wasn't it?
And by 2 o'clock, it'll be 76.
Yeah, perfect.
So you'll get a little space in there. I'm trying to figure out. In my head, I thought I was going to get there at 7, eat enough pancakes that I become sleepy again, and go home. Go home and nap it. But I'm not sure. What's the proper way? What's your recommended plan of attack?
What's the most effective plan of attack?
Come early, come often, right? And just kind of graze a little bit and hang out.
Make a morning out of it, right?
Yeah. It's been 2 or 3 years because in 2020 and 2021, the pandemic wiped this thing out as it did so many community activities. And so now to finally bring this back, and it's a tradition. This is like the 63rd time that this club has done this. So you did it for many, many years down at Pershing. Mm-hmm. And then when Pershing was, vacated and all of that, we moved it out to the Aldrich Center where it's going to be. And but it's one of the major fundraisers for Lincoln Center Kiwanis. It's just a great opportunity to not only get your fill of pancakes and some sausage, but to support a myriad of great youth organizations around the community. You can do all of that. And because it is a bye week, you don't have to carry the stress around of worrying about what's going to happen at kickoff. You get a week off. Everybody needs a week off right now. It's been quite a season, and you couldn't get a better bye week right now than to heal some people up. But this is the place to be, and to come in for 30 minutes an hour or stay longer, but just stop on by. We'll have tickets for sale at the door. People can buy tickets in advance right now at KiwanisLincoln.org. $8 for adults, and kids 6 and under are free, and you can have all the pancakes you want. And I think there'll be some that'll going to test us on that one.
Yeah.
How many pancakes traditionally go on these events?
I'd only be hazarding a guess. We've got volunteers who've been doing this for 20, 30 years. They could tell you to the pancake how many, but there's got to be hundreds and hundreds, if not over 1,000 pancakes. You know, you figure we typically draw in the 500 to 800 range, and I would imagine 2 to 3 pancakes a person. So you're talking well over 1,000.
Right. Well, yeah, easily. Because some people will make up for the person who only has one.
That's right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, Nathan.
And them little kids. And the thing is, them little kids be small, but they can put down some pancakes.
They can put down pancakes. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
I think the real question is this: sausage, Link or patty? How's this going down?
Link.
Oh,
Are you a Link guy or a patty guy?
I am a patty guy, especially when it comes to pancake.
Yeah.
My grandmother used to do this thing where she pancake, sausage patty, syrup, pancake.
Oh, nice, like a sandwich.
And
it's in the griddle before that.
Yeah. Grandma was on board long before, man. It's not gonna be bad. Let the folks know. So as far as parking, how long it'll take in the process.
You bet. So over at Antelope Park, at the Old Rec Center, there's lots of parking all around the building and throughout the park. So parking is pretty convenient.
Pretty easy.
And because it is going to be a nice day, you know, if you have to walk just a little bit, it is.
Yeah, you can walk it off.
You could walk it off. Absolutely. And we've got this large window of time between 7 and 2. So you can come anytime in between those two times and get served and sit and chat. And
did you invite this young man down here
everybody
with his camera and
absolutely
have him come down and put his face on it? And
we would love to have anybody here stop in, no matter what your time is. And I know you folks are extraordinarily busy this time of year, so you get a bye week and you probably want to guard that with your life. But if you do have an extra hour or 2 or whatever, this is family, and you are.
I'm coming. I think it's from. I said 7, but I think it's more likely 8. Just so that I'm not like grumpy.
Yeah.
when I get there, but you want to be able to smile otherwise. And Jay and I talked about it. I know Jake Sorensen said he was coming. So I think a lot of the folks here, we do want to hand out some passes for folks that are interested. So what we'll do here on the Starter Heyman text line, 402-464-5685, you can text in and simply give us a Go Big Red and let us know how many passes you need. This question from Magic: what do the Kiwanis do?
Yeah, so we historically have assisted a variety of youth organizations. So we've provided financial support and volunteer support to the Children's Zoo. A lot of our members actually drive the train over at the zoo. So oftentimes if you have a child over there and you're on the train, chances are pretty good that you got a Lincoln Center Kiwanis volunteer who's driving that train. We've assisted with the Children's Museum over the years. We've assisted with the Hub. The Hub is a nonprofit dedicated to those in the foster care system that have a lot of needs. And so we provided either volunteer support and or financial support to the Hub. We've assisted with Visionary Youth, which is just a tremendous organization doing some great things. They're getting ready to provide bikes for kids that wouldn't necessarily be able to get or afford a bicycle. So the club has helped with that. We help at Elliott Elementary. We help with the Arnold Food Market, which is held, I think, every week. We've also assisted with the food bank, and we've got K Kids and Builders Club and Key Club. These are youth service organizations in schools. When I was here last time, we talked about the fact that this club actually dates back to when we were helping fundraise for Memorial Stadium.
Right, yeah.
Well, it wouldn't have happened without you.
Yeah. And so, I mean, this club's been around since 1919. So there's been a lot of involvement with this particular club. But our passion is helping youth and in so many different ways. And so, that's what it's all about.
Can you let folks know? I mean, this is one way to support Kiwanis by showing up, buying the ticket, and enjoying yourselves. To do that, that's one way. They can also donate if they just want to donate. They don't have time to get to the event, but they can donate. Let folks know how to do either or.
All they have to do is go to the website, KiwanisLincoln.org, and there's an opportunity if you just want to financially support the club. And we are always looking for new members for the club. we meet every week. We've had the great DP out and provided some very inspiring remarks a few weeks ago. So we'll have a month that focuses on Husker athletics. We'll have a month that focuses on various youth activities in the community. And we kind of switch up our themes every month, but we got this program. We meet over at the venue at 70th and Pioneers every week, every Friday at noon. And if somebody's just interested in joining or just stopping in for a lunch, you'll find us there, and we would be delighted to have anybody join us for a Friday program.
Let them know how to find you. Let them know how to find the Kiwanis specifically, because you're everywhere.
I always steer people to our website at kiwanislincoln.org. I could give you my email address because you can directly reach out to me, but I've got one of those last names that have 28 consonants.
People
MSHKOLNICK, MSHKOLNICK@gmail.com, MSHKOLNICK@gmail.com. And I would be happy to take information from anybody who's interested in the Pancake Festival, the club itself, anything related to Kiwanis. Please feel free to reach out by email. It would be great to have more people involved.
What I will do is, for folks who donate over the course until 6 o'clock tonight, if you donate and just simply text in that you donated, I'll match it. It. So whatever you're doing. And then for folks, if you go to the website and buy tickets for it, or if you don't have the money for tickets and you just want to go and enjoy the event, reach out as well. Mark's going to leave some passes for us here at the station. So you'll have until 6 o'clock tonight to get that done. So, kind sir, I'll see you Saturday. I'm looking forward to this.
I can't thank you guys enough. This station has been such a support for our club. I can't thank you enough. You folks do so much in the community, and this is just another example of it. And thank you. I just can't thank you enough.
Saturday from 7 to 2. Give them the address.
Join us out at the old pavilion at 3140 Sumner in Antelope Park on Saturday. We'll be there between 7 a.m. and 2 p.m. Come hungry and ready to eat pancakes.
And please say what's up. Please do. Mark, thank you, kind sir. We'll toward a break. We'll close out this hour of Old School when we come back.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit gocurrency.com and apply today.
People first is more than a nice sentiment. At American Senior Benefits, it's the mission. If you're ready for a career where you can truly put your customers' needs ahead of everything else, this is for you. American Senior Benefits is one of the leading senior market insurance product distributors in the country, and they're looking for high-energy applicants with strong communication skills. Enjoy on-the-job training, a fun work environment, and unlimited income potential. Visit asbmidwest.com to learn more. American Senior Benefits.
Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. It's soul food right here in Lincoln. Ribs, wings, catfish, coleslaw, cornbread, grits. I mean, I'd say it's food like your grandma used to make, but my grandma never made food like that. If you haven't already, you've got to give it a try. Check out their location across from South Point at 27th and Pine Lake, or find their food truck at events all over town, or visit them online at maryellens.com to see the full menu. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Let them fix you a plate. Casey's General Stores is giving away 2 tickets to each Nebraska football home game this season. To enter, just head to any Casey's General Store location in Lincoln during the football season, scan the QR code at the front counter, and fill out the online form. One winner will be chosen at random 2 days before that week's game. So head over to Casey's, stock up on all your tailgating snacks and drinks, and register to win 2 tickets to a Nebraska football game, brought to you by Casey's General Store and 93.7 The Ticket.
Hey, Steve. Welcome to Great Clips.
Great Clips asks, what's the difference between good and great?
Come on back and have a seat.
Good asks you what haircut you'd like.
I have all your details from last time. Would you like the same haircut today?
Great already knows. With Clip Notes, we save your haircut details so you can get the same thing as last time, every time. Download our online check-in app today. Great Clips. It's gonna be great.
In your busy life, very little is free, but your next home might be a bit less than you think with a free appraisal from Security First Bank. Free home appraisals from Security First Bank. We're the bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. Offer valid through December 31st, 2022 on secondary market new home purchase loans only. One free appraisal per transaction. Appraisals paid for by lender at closing. Subject to lender qualifications. See lender for details. NMLS number 505011.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
A cold morning will lead to a chilly afternoon as we only top out at around 44 for the high. North winds at around 10 to 15 will be mainly clear and cold again tonight with a low of around 20. We start to warm things up as we head into the middle of the work week, a high tomorrow of around 59. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Another packed fall sports season means it's time to get to N Street Drive-In to fill up on all your beverage needs. Right now, they have tons of fall seasonals and Oktoberfest beers, and you can check out their First Street Brewing and Lucky Bucket selections as their beers of the month. Also, make sure to download the new N Street Drive-In app to order online and to set up delivery right to your front door. And don't forget their top-notch crowler fill system. N Street Drive-In, your one-stop beverage stop at 1801 O Street.
Local businesses are excited to show you what they're made of at this year's Lincoln Expo, presented by the Lincoln Chamber of Commerce. Stop by Pinnacle Bank Arena from 10 a.m. until 3 p.m. on Wednesday, October 19th. More details at our website, lcoc.com.
Victor deployed for the first time to Afghanistan in 2003. At 4 in the morning, my phone rang. They said, "I regret to inform you that your husband was wounded in action." Victor sustained a moderate traumatic brain injury. I was doing school full-time, and I was also then caring for Victor. One of the most important elements of caregiving is taking care of yourself. I just didn't want to forget that I also had goals and that I also had a life. What I did is I challenged Victor to meet me halfway. There are almost 6 million military and veteran caregivers across the nation. We have our own journey, and we can fulfill that journey at the same time that we are helping our loved one.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for a free military veterans guide to navigate your caregiving journey and better care for your loved one and yourself. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Final segment of Old School. Appreciate Mark Skolnick for stopping by. And again, we've got passes. So, Ted, we got you covered. If you text in, just text in a Go Big Red and we'll take care of you. We'll get you covered. Mark was kind enough to leave some passes for you. And if you're feeling in a generous mood, a donating type of mood, you can find Lincoln Kiwanis and you can go make a donation and just send it in that you made a donation. I'll match it. Let's go ahead and do that. The text line says, shout out to Lincoln Kiwanis members. Thanks for helping our children. Yeah, no matter where you are in the country, the Kiwanis do their thing. It is a nice hub of every community to find out who the good people are. We're watching this and we're watching the Game 5, the elimination game between the Guardians and the Yankees. And, of course, there's a young man throwing for Cleveland who was down from the Woodlands area and got it in. And, Jay was talking about, Texas baseball a little different.
High school.
Yeah.
And high school sports is just and look, man, it's it's weather permitting. It's just a different atmosphere. They just come to college a little bit more ready. That doesn't mean that they'll end up being better. I always looked at it like, sometimes these high schools can go so hard from an early age, say from middle school on through, that kids will be maxed out.
Mm-hmm.
And we saw that a lot with some kids that came here from Texas, where they were already kind of like they already were tapped out. There was no room for improvement. Now, if you have the mindset, you'll find little things that aren't really like tangible to the naked eye, but a lot of the time those guys are, fully developed or whatever, by the time they get to college.
Well, it's also the other side of it. There's a former player of mine who I coached in Texas. And of the 4 horses that we had, and we had 4 legitimate horses, one's a starting pitcher at Northwestern, one's a starting pitcher at Texas Tech, one's a starting pitcher at SMU, one's at A&M. And the stories that they've told was just that when they got there, they were working way harder than the people who was around them.
Yeah, way more ready, way more could deal with adversity better, been there and done that. I think the biggest thing, like if we talked about youth sports the other day, is like when you want to, everybody wants to kind of get their looks in college, but I think when you transition to high school or transition to high school, and then the summer and the stuff like that, when you're in high school, it helps. The first person that came to mind is Ramel Lloyd, being exposed to big time tournaments, him going on the road to say Michigan State or Michigan.
Ain't a big deal.
That ain't a big deal. He's already flown across the country. I remember watching this thing. They flew from LA to Minneapolis to play Suggs and the tall kid that, Chet in the Target Center in front of 19,000 people, where people were camping out to go watch some high school kids play. So that's just, it's everyday.
He played
thing.
every high school game in front of LeBron James, and usually in front of Dwayne Wade, and usually in front of Anthony Davis.
Yeah. And plus, there's just the magnitude of people when you're showing up, and there's that many people, there's just second nature. And so, it's a lot different. I mean, my brother, he's a doctor. He just moved to Tennessee, right outside Knoxville. Man, my little nephew, man, the little dude ain't nothing. I mean, they got team pictures. They coming out. They playing in like a full. I was like, man, this is cool. But it's intense. It's just way more. It's just a lot different. But that's just part of where it's at. I think there's good trade-offs and bad trade-offs to both, and generally all that stuff is great. But when you get there, the best ones that make, or the guys that make it, usually the ones that adjust. Because you could come from Texas and kind of be tapped out and don't want to compete anymore. Mm-hmm. Feel like, all right, I got here, I arrived. I just want to get done through my next 4 or 5 years. But then you get some guys like you coach. We're like, oh, this set me up to separate from Jay and Nate, and now they're starting.
I as a coach, I can tell you that I got down there. I always coached 3 sports, so it was the cycle.
Oh yeah,
and then the off season. Well, I did it down there, but this is why I can work all day here.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
This is why I can do this all day, because down there, every sport is all year round. Every single sport is a 9-month sport. So you get used to it. You get used to it. With the break, we'll come back. Second hour of Old School, we'll have Jay Foreman break down what this week should be like for the Huskers, things to look for. And I want to talk about Mickey Joseph's standing in this thing. Where does he stand? We'll ask Jay Foreman that next when we come back.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Local businesses are excited to show you what they're made of at this year's Lincoln Expo, presented by the Lincoln Chamber of Commerce. Stop by Pinnacle Bank Arena from 10 a.m. until 3 p.m. on Wednesday, October 19th. More details at our website, lcoc.com.
Bagels & Joe is ready for the fall with pumpkin chocolate chip muffins, pumpkin cream cheese, and a pumpkin pie smoothie. Don't forget their delicious breakfast burritos and sandwiches, and grab a business box of bagels for the work crew. Bagels & Joe, with 4 Lincoln locations and a new location in Seward opening soon. There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock, or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
Hey, Steve. Welcome to Great Clips.
Great Clips asks, what's the difference between good and great?
Come on back and have a seat.
Good. Asks you what haircut you'd like.
I have all your details from last time. Would you like the same haircut today?
Great. Already knows. With Clip Notes, we save your haircut details so you can get the same thing as last time, every time. Download our online check-in app today. Great Clips. It's gonna be great.
Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. It's soul food right here in Lincoln. Ribs, wings, catfish, coleslaw, cornbread, grits. I mean, I'd say it's food like your grandma used to make, but my grandma never made food like that. If you haven't already, you've got to give it a try. Check out their location across from South Point at 27th and Pine Lake, or find their food truck at events all over town, or visit them online at maryellens.com to see the full menu. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Let them fix you a plate.
College football in Lincoln, America. The time has come. Start your game day off right with the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Join the ticket crew live from Tipsy Tina's in the Haymarket as they bring you all the coverage you need to get you ready for the action. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Brought to you by A1 Automotive, Mullen Motors, Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits, Bauer Underground, then Bliker with Professional Realty Group, and Ritchie Brothers.
Lose fat, build muscle, gain endurance. Whatever your goal, Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping can help you achieve it. Farrell's offers group fitness for all levels in a fun, welcoming environment. Their proven method combines kickboxing, cardio, and strength training to get you in the best shape of your life. You've heard all about their 10-week challenges, but you can join as a member anytime. Head to fxbeatlincoln.com to learn more. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping at 40th and Yankee Hill or just south of 78th and Pioneers.
Warhorse Casino Lincoln is open, and guests are winning big already. Get in on the fun at Nebraska's first casino. Try your luck on your favorite slot machines and join the Warhorse Rewards program for exclusive offers. The best is yet to come as we continue to build a world-class experience for our guests. Right off Highway 77 and West Denton. You'll always leave feeling like a winner at Warhorse Casino Lincoln.
Must be 21 or older to enter. Proper ID is required. Gambling problem? 1-833-BET-OVER.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you prevent wildfires.
Dude, I've got this. I've been camping since I was 5 years old.
But I am a camping influencer.
You know what? I'll bet you $5. Assistant Smokey, what is the best way to put out a campfire?
To put out a campfire, drown with water, stir, drown again. Then make sure the fire is out cold by feeling with the back of your hand.
Wait, really?
I'll take the $5.
Learn more at SmokeyBear.com.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves them, that makes them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score!
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hour number 2 of Old School. We've got a long night for you. We're going to go until 11 o'clock tonight. We got stuff to do. Sam Hoiberg is up next at 6 o'clock, and he is bringing in 2 big boys. It's our dude, Goggles. Willem Breidenbach will come on in the studio, along with somebody that's actually taller than he is. Oleg Koyanets is coming in. Free Oleg, baby.
Yeah,
Let's go get it.
NC State Oleg was the first one off the bench. That's what I'm talking about.
Let's get
here.
it. I'm like,
I
with
am
this.
here.
Like, I'm here for this. And then
want all
Kyle
that
Perry.
smoke. I hear you.
Kyle Perry from baseball will tell us about this run productive preseason exhibition season they've had down there. Good stuff along with that. Then we'll have Rocky Russo from the Lincoln Stars. They're home this weekend. It's Princess Night. Like Saturday night. So make plans. It's going to be bring your daughters, bring your sons, bring everybody. Get out to the Icebox Saturday night. And then Chris Ramsey and Nico Schultz from the Huskers track team will close the show for us as we get into the night. The Yankees lead at 5-1. going into the 6th inning. So as they go, 402-464-5685, Starter Heyman text line, Honda Lincoln hotline if you want to join in. And, of course, you can follow on the Starter Heyman video stream, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. Jay Foreman, Husker Hall of Famer, let him know.
The Mercado Certified Piedmontese and Special Ingredients and Butcher Shop, 84th and Havelock. Great appetizer menu, entree menu, dessert menu. Always give props to the strawberry sorbet. And I can also tell you I devoured a tomahawk. So if you ever want to treat yourself or treat your family, more than 3 or 4 people can definitely take down that tomahawk.
See, then you say, look, if you've got a birthday coming up, anniversary coming up.
Yeah. Any occasion, the atmosphere is good for any occasion. Not too dressy. Obviously, just, I guess business casual. Can't speak for them, but definitely think that you fit right in. And great service, great people, great atmosphere. It's been, I remember when it was first kind of talked about, and I think it's lived up to the billing and then some.
Through current news today, the Huskers women's basketball team will head into preseason ranked number 22. Number 22, and that's even after Sam Hybe and her injury. Jay Foreman, man, look, come on. That's still a group, right? That is a team that can make a legitimate run.
I think last year was a learning experience for them. Obviously, without Hybe coming back, but we got majority of their pieces coming back. I think they were able to, through some of the turmoil and, Hybe being hurt some, you had some players step up that they normally weren't expecting to step up to the magnitude, which is going to bode well for this year because of the experience of what they had last year. And they also realized how close they were. When you think of a team like Iowa, them winning the Big Ten, but then the run that they've been on, essentially, especially that game up at Iowa, they felt like, that essentially was handed to them on the platter by the refs, and also let one slip away when they played them here. So, they're measuring themselves out the top upper echelon of the Big Ten, but also I think they know that they're humble enough that, they got to get after it. And they understand that the way that they were able to be successful last year can't change just because people are noticed. I think, every week it was like, when are they going to get ranked? When are they going to get ranked? And they finally get ranked. And then, and I think the learning experience of the tournament, understanding the magnitude of every possession is invaluable for this team this year. And, the way it looks is everybody's went back to work and worked on their, try to work on their weaknesses and become a better team. So I'm excited to watch them play. They're fun to watch, number one.
Yeah.
Well coached, and it's good for it's a good starting place for them, but I'm sure they're shooting to be up a little bit higher when the Big Ten regular season ends. They're shooting to be higher than what they're ranked at right now.
We're going to switch gears because every now and then in the NFL, a thing happens that creates a seismic shift in how business is being done. So the recent rumors about Daniel Snyder and the Washington Commanders, and then today
they got owners meet today. Then one of
the Robert, you heard Irsay said
Irsay jumped out there. I see you, Irsay. He jumped out there and said, "Man, we got grounds to get rid of this cat."
Irsay has nothing to hide. I'll tell you that.
Right? Yeah.
He's got nothing to hide.
And that's what the thing is. Like, you the dude up here trying to judge somebody.
Honor among thieves, man. It is just
that's when you know it's bad. That's when and really, to be honest with you,
gang.
Right? I think once people, if it's true that he hired a private investigator to follow the owners, and I mean that's just probably
a step too far.
It's a step too far because he still got Jerry Jones in his back pocket. So that means that means if there's 32 teams, you at least got close to what you need not to get voted out. Now
25 is 25 the number?
It's 24.
24.
So he needs 9.
He needs to keep 9 people close to it.
Yeah.
Well, so we know what number of investigators he has.
Well, he said he had 6 or 6 or 7. Well, then you can't count himself because he's already been out there.
Right, and some you don't have to investigate because everything's already out
Jerry
there.
Jones, so he's that's why he's sitting up there like a boss. He's like, I already got everybody, and I got this in the bag.
Come on, Shield. Like, that's just like the NFL's got to be like Goodell's got to be just go. Come on, really?
Yeah, but then it's like they said. Well, according to the reports, is that he got all the names off the report that the NFL did, so they obviously didn't white out the names. So
which they were supposed to.
So pretty much, you just gave him a list of people that he can just mess with.
Hit list.
Yeah, or like a tip sheet.
Yeah. Yeah,
and I'm sure, and to be honest with you, if it's some of the stories are true, I'm sure if they're put on paper, he can I know who that is. You know what I'm saying? So I think it all started with all them emails and John Gruden. And I still don't think we've heard the last of him.
No, of course not. He's sitting laying in wait because he'll get the job he wants.
No, he's waiting for them checks to finish clearing, and then he'll come back and he'll
coach again.
Yeah.
Dude, people were talking about hiring Urban Meyer. Like this year. Like this still might.
Like this community.
Simple in there was Urban Meyer or bust.
Day one, yeah.
Day one. Within hours. Sunday night, Urban Meyer was a guy. Everybody always say, well, we seen him at Hy-Vee. He was at the post out. He was at High. Everybody would say you always see the coach that – because they remember when Jim Tressel, they were like, oh, Jim Tressel was in town. He was at Hy-Vee. It's a foregone conclusion. Everybody always sees Urban Meyer.
The thing was, too, is that Urban Meyer was here because they had the Fox Big Noon kickoff.
Yeah. He came here. Yeah.
Yes, he is here.
He interviewed for the job, too.
Yeah, but nobody said who else was here and who else from the Big Ten Network was here and didn't get the job offer, which is just bananas. I find it all. I did Locked on Huskers today for tomorrow, and that was the discussion about coaching. And I said, Nebraska has its coach, and I'm not going to spend time
it all kind of
speculating
depends with who's making decisions and what they're looking for, moving forward. I just think it's gonna have to be. It's not just you're not just hiring a coach. You're hiring. You got to get everything in line. Learn from this year. Understand how you got to win at the Big Ten, in the Big Ten. How you need to recruit. How you need to develop, and then how you're going to systematically recruit those players and get them on your roster. And then once you get them on your roster, continue to make them better or set them up to be better, so forth and so on. So I mean, it's a tall task, but I always say that's why they get paid handsomely, and that's why I don't really, I'm not trying to hear you complain about it.
Yeah, I don't do the speculation thing. It's just too much.
Well, it's too early. We got a ton of season left.
Yeah, well, that's the part. Like, you're in the middle of a brawl, and you got somebody on the corner talking about, well, if you don't win, I'm gonna have a new girlfriend by the time you walk out of it. That's just disrespectful.
I want to see how they're gonna play. Like I said, it's weird. You're encouraged. I mean, when you're looking at the stats here, Purdue had 38 first downs. We had 15. They had 217 yards rushing. They almost doubled up our rushing. They averaged a yard more per carry rushing, which is weird because it seemed like we couldn't run anything.
Right.
They threw for 400 yards. We threw for pretty much 400 yards. They had 600 yards of offense. We had 475, but we had half the plays. I'm more looking at that. They held the ball for time of possession for pretty much 45 minutes of the game.
37 points in 51 plays.
Yeah. And so, you're trying to find out, like, okay, how can we, pull this game out? There's different ways. I think, then you go look at third down conversion. Produce 50%, we're 33%.
Go to that fourth down, though.
Well, they're 2 for 2, but one of them was 4th and 1, and we ran right past the quarterback. Fourth down is, you can't really learn a lot. I mean, that's the tell-all is 9 out of 18, and they had the ball for 13 minutes in the fourth quarter.
13 minutes.
So they were able to play small ball, punch us in the face. And so that's where you want to get better. And, because red zone scores, we were 4 for 4. They were 6 for 7. So, it was a little bit of a track meet. So I think where we need to look at is just kind of, that's what I'm focusing on. Everything else will take care of itself. This team continues to improve and play well and beat some teams that maybe right now people aren't thinking they can beat. Conversation's already done.
Are they better? Is this team better prepared now than they were 4 weeks ago?
I think so. I think they were. I think they were prepared for Purdue. I think the inexperience and the lack of continuity through injury and just kind of, if you're looking at shuffling guys and stuff like that, is what's kind of got them. I think the football acumen and being I'm looking. If I was down there, I think the simplicity helped. Obviously, in the first 2 weeks after the bye week, we'll continue to do that. I think it helped at times against Purdue, but then also I want to challenge you to do more as well, because in order to beat a team like Purdue, or like maybe beat a team like Illinois and Minnesota,
because Purdue's a good football team,
right? But in order to beat them, because their style is so different, right? I need to push you more mentally to get you to execute maybe higher level defense just the basics. Because if you do the basics, you'll get, kind of diced up. So, and then in the run game, where can we get you mentally and physically and spiritually to understand that it's going to be a full-fledged brawl street. It's going to be extremely physical game. Illinois is they're going to pack their offense, they're going to pack their defense, and they're going to play with an edge. I talked about how when the guy hit the Minnesota Gophers quarterback, it's probably close. It's probably, I'm all for playing through the echo of the whistle. It's probably a dirty play because the intent looked like it was there.
Yeah.
I guess everything's fair when you're in there. So what that tells me, though, they're playing with an edge and they're playing trying to be for a bigger purpose. They're trying to make their mark in the Big Ten West. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's kind of like Brett Bielema's revenge tour. They went up to Wisconsin and beat their big brother at their own game. I mean, and beat those guys up, right? So much to the point that they fired their coach. Then he used to play and coach at Iowa. You know what I mean? He beat them up pretty well in an ugly game, low-scoring game, defensive battle. So they figured, we can play any way you want. We can score 40 points up there in Madison, or we can get into where it's like a single-score game and beat up Iowa, where a team that's kind of been, the bell cow of the Big Ten West. So they're showing what they're capable of right now.
From the text line says, let's not put Purdue on a pedestal. Pump the brake, fella. No. Why? They're 6-1. Like they're doing. They're 6-1.
I'm not putting them on a
They're
pedestal.
the first team not ranked. They have the 26th team.
6-1. You 6-1. Look, what would we do? What would we all be willing to sacrifice to be 6-1 right now?
I mean, I'm giving them the respect. I'm not putting them on a pedestal. They're a well-coached team. What they do is so different than normally what everybody else does. But what they do is so simple. Sometimes they get you to get in your own way. They force you to do things that you don't normally have to do. And when you have a lot of young guys that aren't veterans, that's what can happen. You got to communicate. You got to be clear. You can't, just like in the resident, you can't have there's no guesswork. You got to know your anticipation has to be really good. Your footwork and fundamentals have to be good. Your lane integrity, as far as who's the force player, who's the alley player, who's the overlap player, that has to be good in all forms of fashion. Because in order for them to run the ball to the clip that they ran, they have to formation you and number you to death. They aren't good enough to just line up and just beat you up, right? But how they do it is because they're well coached in this. There's for as many motions and shifts and then motion across. You don't see a lot of false starts, misalignments and stuff like that. So they're well coached in it, and that's how they're able to run these concepts or plays and then be effective. And Aiden O'Connell be a guy that starts to kind of put the ball where he needs to. That's where it's at. So, and then also what they do is once they start to kind of bleed you, then it'll mess up your time on some of your timing on blitzes. So when you want to heat them up, you're not getting home because you're guessing, right? But that comes down to communication, continuity, and experience. And so that's where this bye week is huge. Even though you're playing a totally different team coming out of the bye week, it's still the same thing, except for Illinois is going to test you differently. They're going to test you. Can you answer the bell in the fight for 60, 70 plays and not give up a big run and be willing to hit Brown however many times you need to? Are you going to be the guy that's going to be able to set the edge, play football, set the edge, play football, set the edge, play football, wrong arm it, and then still play football that one time? Because that one time that you have to do something you haven't been doing all game, there can't be any guesswork. And then that's where they try to hit you. And so that's where they've been really good. And they've opened up their offense a little bit. DeVito's playing pretty good. Their defense is salty. Their defensive line is playing real well.
How would you compare O'Connell and DeVito?
They're kind of the same.
Right?
But I think O'Connell is really good in Purdue's system.
DeVito's better with his feet than O'Connell is.
But he's hurt. So I tell you this. Purdue is one. Aiden O'Connell, out of nowhere, ankle sprain for their season to be done. DeVito, I think, him going down, I think Illinois is more prepared for that because they've added some things to their offense besides just running the game.
They've got Williams over
there.
They
got Williams. They add they do a little bit more tight end stuff, and they can kind of do some screens and stuff like that. And they have different types of backs, even though Brown is the guy who's leading the nation in rushing.
Yeah, when I start to look at Illinois, it becomes a Bielema thing pretty quickly, that he's managed to put people in place to do what they do best consistently.
Well, again, when you take over a team, right, he took over a team with a lot of young talent, and they were proven too, because Brown is the two brothers were productive players before he got there. Okay, under Lovie Smith. The only thing is they had the Larry Zonka dude that when they were here, when McCaffrey started and he pitched the ball to nobody in the first play game, and they had a turnover. That was kind of the coming out party and the going away party of Luke McCaffrey or whoever it was that was here, that was playing quarterback. So and then their punter, I think, remember he had to fake punt and looked like he didn't want to run. Then
didn't want to run, then got
ran,
first down, then didn't want to run for another 10, then finally took the 20.
That was he passed his conditioner test all in one time on the game. So I think Brett Bielema knows how to coach within the Big Ten. And I think the learning lessons that he learned from coaching at Arkansas, then going to New England, you know what I'm saying, and learning a little bit from Belichick how to adjust without giving up your identity, and then bring it to Illinois where you have some established players, right? Established, really good players. And then they've done really well in the transfer portal, and then they've hit on some other positions, and then you get a quarterback in there, DeVito, that's barely got beat out. I think he was at Syracuse before? Syracuse, where he was the starter, then he got injured, and he kind of just barely got beat out. So you have a guy that's experienced to come in and kind of run your, low risk type of offense. And then as DeVito's gotten better, the offense has gotten more explosive. And I think Williams was a quarterback, then he moves to receiver. So now so he was kind of like the RPO guy. Mm-hmm. Now you put him in a position where he's getting a lot of volume, right, from a playmaking standpoint. And so he was able to kind of piece together his roster, then flip it. Their defensive coordinator is a young and up and coming defensive coordinator, very, very aggressive, that's tailored to the back end of their defense and the front of their defense. So the tempo setters is the defensive line, the thumpers and all that stuff, and the guys that kind of can do multiple things are the safeties and kind of the nickel. So they've kind of married to their roster, but it wasn't easy because you got to think just last year, Brett Bielema had that interview, I don't know what it was, where he was talking about the offensive line that he inherited. And everybody took it that he didn't believe in it. But just magically in a week later, they went to Penn State and upset Penn State with the same offensive line. And I think that was the turning point for that program, to where they're at right now, where you had turmoil, right, or adversity. He got up there, whether he, fell on the sword or whatever, he found a way to get the focus back to what the focus needs to be. They went into a hostile environment, regardless of what Penn State was last year. Nobody would have thought they would have went in there and won that ugly game, and they won ugly. That's a team bonding game. Kind of finished the season on a high note, and then went into the offseason and recruited to what, he felt like is the Illinois way. I heard him say where they've kind of, and I know their AD where they've kind of accentuated their NIL stuff to kind of be within their wheelhouse, which has really helped them recruiting. And then by the way that they've went about practicing, they've had some young players that develop. And so the young guys that have came in, they've kind of just been able to come in and not having to be the true starters. They're kind of like, add on. And that's where you see like where they have a young freshman. He's got 3 or 4 sacks. It's easy to come in when you're 3rd or 4th on the pecking order in the, say front 7 versus, all right, you're coming from high school and you got to be that guy. It's totally different.
Can Illinois be elite in the Big Ten Conference?
If they keep winning like this, I mean, they're going to get a lot more people to go there. I mean, I assume they're always going to be able to tote the pill. So you think they're always going to have a running back. Now, will they be at the clip I think a lot depends on how this year goes, because you start running into people that get off early against your running attack, get an injury or two, then we'll see where you're at. But I think they'll always be competitive. I think because I think that's the way they'll coach. Now, what'll happen, it'll be interesting to see is after this year, do they start losing some coaches? That will,
and players in the middle of their depth chart.
Well, sure, because that's where. So if they say their defensive coordinator goes and there's transfer portal opportunities, he's going to go with known entities. That doesn't mean because Nate's not starting doesn't mean that Nate can't play. It's like, well, maybe you have DP ahead of you and then you kind of played a little bit. Well, DP's still there, right? Say DP has 2 years. Well, Nate can go with the D coordinator or defensive back coach and become an instant starter. So we'll see what happens as success, how hurts them. It'll be interesting to see how they deal with 2 weeks of success, which is you got a whole week of everybody patting you on the back. Everywhere they go on campus, everybody's talking about that. You got a ton of interviews, probably opportunities, obligations, distractions, and then you got to go and play a primetime game, which is either going to be on, I think, ESPN or one of the other ones at 2:30. And so a lot comes with that as well. So the pregame stuff is also a lot, and they are the ranked team, so they're going to have more people and more distractions than say Nebraska, and so they're right for the picking. And I think I think it's going to come down to Nebraska playing well on first and second down against the run. I envision Illinois is going to come in and probably try to have a controlled passing game in first and second down to kind of soften you up, but we cannot allow a big gasher on a continuous basis. We got to do a really good job of yards after contact because
big explosive plays
in the run game as well. Because in the run game, I think we'll be fine. I think we should be fine in the pass game because I don't really think they'll throw. Well, I don't think they have a lot of over the top stuff, but I think being able to be steady, yards after contact is huge. So what that does is the same things that Purdue kind of got off on us on, we have to remedy, and it's just in a different way, right? So like if we don't line up correctly, of course Illinois is going to run to where there's the least amount of numbers, right? But
that's been the playbook against Nebraska.
But they'll do it a different way. They're going to punch you dead in your face, though. That's the
just
difference.
Overload instead of being cute about it.
But when they hit you, though, they're going to punch you in your face, though. So whereas Purdue, they kind of like, I got you. Oh, yeah, we flipped the running back over. You guys stayed still. Well, that's why we tossed it. There's another guy over there. You can't get there just by physics. So, I think it's a good opportunity for guys. I think also it's a good opportunity. I imagine that defensive coaches will have some adjustments for it as well.
There's going to be a lot of interesting talk over the course of the bye week, and then the lead-up week. We'll throw the break when we come back. Give an update on this Major League Game 5, and then preview tonight's Game 1 in San Diego. We got more baseball today. We'll talk about that
in the NBA tonight, baby.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit gocurrency.com and apply today.
College football in Lincoln, America. The time has come. Start your game day off right with the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate Pregame Show. Join the ticket crew live from Tipsy Tina's in the Haymarket as they bring you all the coverage you need to get you ready for the action. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate Pregame Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Brought to you by A1 Automotive, Mullen Motors, Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits, Bauer Underground, Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group, and Ritchie Brothers.
Get an immediate look back at the game from the people who know it best. It's the Tanner's Postgame Show and the Final Word live from Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill. Hear from former players and national champions like Jay Foreman, Rashawn Jackson, and Aaron Davis and see what they saw in that day's game. It's the Tanner's Postgame Show and the Final Word. Live and in person, home or away at Tanner's Bar and Grill, brought to you by Bauer Infrastructure. Only here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Lose fat, build muscle, gain endurance. Whatever your goal, Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping can help you achieve it. Farrell's offers group fitness for all levels in a fun, welcoming environment. Their proven method combines kickboxing, cardio, and strength training to get you in the best shape of your life. You've heard all about their 10-week challenges, but you can join as a member anytime. Head to fxbeatlincoln.com to learn more. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping at 40th and Yankee Hill or just south of 78th and Pioneers.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric brings exciting career opportunities for you or someone you know. They are now hiring plumbers, electricians, and HVAC techs and installers to continually build their professional team. They offer competitive pay and full benefits packages that include health, dental, vision, PTO, and 401k options. Action has created a positive team environment for over 50 years. Apply online at actionlincoln.com.
Bagels and Joe is ready for the fall with pumpkin chocolate chip muffins, pumpkin cream cheese, and a pumpkin pie smoothie. Don't forget their delicious breakfast burritos and sandwiches, and grab a business box of bagels for the work crew. Bagels and Joe with 4 Lincoln locations and a new location in Seward opening soon.
How's Wingstop sound? Crispy, juicy, classic wings. Made to order, cooked to perfection, and sauced and tossed in those 11 soul-satisfying flavors. Paired with hand-cut seasoned fries, house-made honey mustard, blue cheese, or signature Wingstop ranch. And, of course, spicy Cajun fried corn. I think you've heard enough. Get your flavor delivered at wingstop.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by Security First Bank, a relationship you can count on.
A cold morning will lead to a chilly afternoon as we only top out at around 44 for the high. North winds at around 10 to 15 will be mainly clear and cold again tonight with a low of around 20. We start to warm things up as we head into the middle of the work week, a high tomorrow of around 59. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Victor deployed for the first time to Afghanistan in 2003. At 4 a.m, my phone rang. They said, "I regret to inform you that your husband was wounded in action." Victor sustained a moderate traumatic brain injury. I was doing school full-time, and I was also then caring for Victor. One of the most important elements of caregiving is taking care of yourself. I just didn't want to forget that I also had goals and that I also had a life. What I did is I challenged Victor to meet me halfway. There are almost 6 million military and veteran caregivers across the nation. We have our own journey, and we can fulfill that journey at the same time that we are helping our loved one.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for a free military veterans guide to navigate your caregiving journey and better care for your loved one and yourself. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back. Again, we spend so much time on these microphones talking about the negative things and the negative people, but I do want to give a shout out. There is a collective group of listeners and friends of family and such who go out of their way to do kind things for people on a regular and consistent basis.
Yeah.
And I don't ever want it to become where we talk so much about the negative that we don't give a shout out to the people who do really good stuff to help out the young people in this community, whether it's through the Kiwanis, whether it's through the folks who come over from the university and student athletes who are coming in and doing shows and sharing themselves and along those lines. Listen, every now and then I get reminded of why we chose Lincoln. There's some really good people here. I just matched a donation for Kiwanis. I'm going to match another donation for some student athletes to take care of them and to make them smile, because that's what we should be doing. That's why we're here. That's what we're here for. But for you good folks of Lincoln, I appreciate you so much. I'm going to keep saying it, and I hope you're okay with it. Jay Foreman, talking about it, it's NBA Open tonight, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot going on. You got baseball, NBA. You got a big weekend of college football. People probably think it couldn't get any bigger, but college football, and then you got hockey right around the corner. So this is a phenomenal.
They opened. Hockey opened
Already? Oh, yeah. Then we're well into it. So
yeah. 2 games tonight. Sixers, Celtics, and a brawl. Give me a good one.
Yeah.
And then we go out west later, and it's the Lakers who travel to Golden State and take on the Warriors. We're going to get a real good look opening day for what this season is supposed to be.
Yeah, it's a good little snapshot. I think that the Lakers are still in transition, so I don't think, once you get towards Christmas, you'll kind of really see where the Lakers are at. But I think the Golden State Warriors are championship caliber. They know what they need to do, and it's kind of, turnkey for them. They probably won't show too much. They're not going to blow out their superstars just because I'm assuming they're getting the rings tonight. So that'll be a big ordeal. But, everything's getting ramped up. It's starting to get, pressure and money time in college football, NFL as well. We're not the halfway part, but getting close there. You're starting to see some separation. You're waiting for some teams to kind of wake up, i.e. the Green Bay Packers and or the Bucks, what's the, heck, you just last night, you saw San Diego win a ugly game that they haven't been able to win. They haven't been able to win a game like that in the last 4 or 5 years. They're able to win it last night. Are you seeing the demise or the sudden fall of Russell Wilson?
What is that? In your mind, what is that? What's happening there?
I think it's
Russell
just
Wilson?
an accumulation of years of Russ trying to do too much. Here's a funny story about Russell Wilson. So when I was towards the end of my career playing, I was in Charlotte working out, and Chris Canty, it was me and Chris Canty working out, and the guy that was working us out was Leonard Wheeler. So the guys that were working out was me, Chris Canty, Hannibal Navies, and another guy that he was really, really young. So it was us four, and then Leonard Wheeler was working us out. And we were all at different parts in our career, right? I was still my last year trying to get over my, my leg injury. Well, Joe Canty, who's his Chris brother, and Chris Canty, they knew Russell Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
And this is when he was just at NC State. And I'll never forget this. I'll never forget this. It was hot as all get out. And we were at Charlotte Catholic School, the field.
Yep.
And Joe Canty was like, "Hey man, I'm gonna have this kid come up from college named Russell Wilson. He plays baseball. He doesn't know what he's want to do. He's like the coaches at NC State don't think he's really good, but he's like everywhere he's been good." I honestly got true. I'm like, all right, man. I'm sitting there like NC State. All right, how could you be really good at NC State, right? So he comes up and he's throwing around because it's right. Moose was there. Muhammad was there. So he's gonna throw to Moose a little bit, Steve Smith magically didn't show up, but Moose always showed up when he said he was going to be there.
Shocker.
But Moose was, and so they worked. So Russell Wilson came. We all were like, "Hey, man, keep your head up, man." It's like, and that's, he's like, they were like, if you can play, because they were trying to say he was too short at NC State, because I think Glennon was behind him, or they were kind of bad.
6'6",
and he was 6'6" or whatever. And we were like, "Hey, look, man." And I saw him throw the ball. I was like, "This dude he could throw."
Yeah.
And I told him the story about Doug Flutie. I said, I never really saw Doug Flutie get a lot of passes batted down. Now, I did tell him Doug Flutie was able to play in Canada, so it helped. But at the end of the day, I kind of never thought anything of it. Mm-hmm. And then next thing you know, he popped up at Wisconsin. And then the rest is history. But now we're seeing Russell Wilson finally at a crossroads at his career. You got to think, since he's been in the league, it's been pretty easy. So I think it's one of those things that he can, he's getting a little bit injured, right? He's got the lat.
Do you think that's what that's what it is? Is that it's just an accumulation of injuries?
No, I think it's accumulation of things outside of football.
Okay.
That when you're in Seattle and you're comfortable, like it was turnkey for him. This is a whole new environment. So I always talk about this, the transfer portal, right? Just because you were good at one school and your stats are at said school, say Arizona State or whatever it is, doesn't mean when you come to Lincoln playing in the Big Ten, it's going to be that good, or you're going to be the same person or the same player. It's a different locker room, different team, different expectations, right? And everything is like he knew he had Lockett and Metcalf, two well-established receivers, and they always had a decent little run game, but then Russell Wilson was able to provide for that.
Yeah, he would.
So you got to
tuck it and go.
But the passes that are getting dropped by some of the receivers, Lockett doesn't drop those. You have Metcalf that could take a 5-yard slant and go 80 yards. He's a freak show. Now you're coming here and it's all Sutton's a borderline Pro Bowl receiver. Judy's a first-round pick that hadn't reached his.
What's his story?
Hands.
Just hands.
Hands and consistency. Like, as much as not having, things around you as a quarterback that can affect you, as a receiver, not having a guy that can deliver the mail. So I think the second half of the season, you'll see a little bit more from him.
Javonte Williams went down too.
That hurts as well. Their offensive line is still a little shaky, but then also I think that the coach is different too. When you talk about Pete Carroll, you can talk about he's quirky. You can talk about he's old. He chews 18 pieces of gum and all that, but he could coach football. Whereas you got Hackett here, where they don't seem like they're curtailing the offense to Russell. You understand? You get what I'm saying? It's not.
That's deep. That's deep.
Well, I'm saying, I mean, you didn't have no. I mean, one thing that I think they did in Green Bay, they finally understood we need to get this to what Aaron Rodgers does well. Yeah. I don't think they've married it yet to Russell Wilson yet. How many? Okay, let me ask you this: how many outside, deep, way outside, like long outside zone plays, deep bootlegs you've seen from them?
Which is what he does best.
And then he throws the best deep ball out there.
Right.
And who would always go get that deep ball?
Yeah.
Lockett.
Yeah.
How many have you seen? You haven't seen any of that. How many have you seen any bootleg action or fake RPO, smoke screen? I know when they played the Raiders, they weren't blocking, but they don't see a lot of that. And I also think getting rid of Noah Fant, which they probably had to in the draft, I think hurt them as well.
My concern with Russell Wilson is when you look at his film, he misses more open window throws between the hashes than any quarterback I've ever seen.
Right.
Like he never even sees open receivers staring him in the face.
It's also the blitz pickup hasn't been on point, and he's missing that because he needs to be able to get that offensive line in the right protection. But then also, but see, we're saying the same thing. What made those in between hashes throw less of a negative is because he was throwing the places that he was able to throw. Yeah. And then what that gave him the confidence. So he's actually having to get better at things he's not good at. So now it's magnified. Well, we're not accentuating what he's doing, what he's good at.
There's no DK Metcalf with that big body who will take care of the middle of the field.
You think it was Judy, he's going to break out, right? Yeah. You haven't seen it. Not consistent in his route running. Wow. There isn't any separation for how fast he is, right? So that lets you, Jerry Judy can run. So it lets you know it's the route running.
Yeah, and there's a lot to it. I was trying to figure out last night.
And the connection. I'm sure Russ is. I mean, he's up there talking about let's ride and all this other stuff and blah, blah,
what
blah.
does it say about Justin? What did last night tell you about Justin Herbert?
He's tough. I was still, San Diego always, or not San Diego, I guess it's LA. For the last 5 years, it's even when Lynn was the coach, right? It is always what if. And then they finally won a game last night that they hadn't been able to win in 4 or 5 years. But Justin Herbert is the real deal. Now, I'd like to see them to, add into, throw into the tight end a little bit more and to be able to get that running game, going a little bit more to really take the pressure off of him to throw it 57 times without even a touchdown pass. I think when Allen comes back, I think you're going to see this offense take off. Because Allen's that dude. He's
the best route runner in the NFL.
If he's not the best, he's a top 4. Because you got to think you got to have
that dude's magical. He's got magical feet.
Devontae Adams, him, the other guy from the Raiders, Renfro, and I'm pretty sure I'm missing somebody else. Those are, but he's the one. Nobody can check him. So that's the guy that can move the chains, and then he can hit you for a deep ball too. So if they can get him back, and they're still at 4-2 and continue along winning, that offense is going to take off.
And maybe the hardest working receiver in the league.
Yeah. And then if they can get Bosa back, right? Or when they get Bosa back. And then you got Khalil Mack that's playing good. And they got a young defense.
Yeah, that's what I expect. See, that's weird because I keep thinking of the Chargers in full.
They're never in full. It seems like they're never in full. You know when the Chargers are in full? Either the first day of training camp, the first game of the season. After that, somebody always gets hurt. And they just don't miss a game. Like Bosa's out for a while.
It's just when you think of teams, you just go, why are they not good?
They always have big injuries. So, and then heck, remember when they had Tyrod Taylor, the doctor went there.
Don't even get me started on that.
Stabbed him in the lung.
Come on,
punctured his lung.
Well, that was funny. Well, Justin Herbert got hurt against the Chiefs, and that was the dude that's supposed to give him a pain.
Like, nope.
Yeah.
Give me a pill, bro.
Yeah, I'll wait till I get home.
Give me a pill.
I'll wait till I get home.
Give me a pill, man.
I'm getting a second and third opinion.
Hey, man, getting a pill.
And your opinion ain't one of them.
from the text line treat, he was up, took his son out to see the Bills and Chiefs. So he sent you some pictures, Jay, for you to look at with him and his son at Arrowhead doing their thing, celebrating a win. He said, "How about them Bills, man? How about them Bills?"
Hey, man, we do what we do. I mean, we just do what we do. We just, we had to deal with Jake for a week, and they sold their soul.
Have you talked to Jake?
Is he okay?
He's not okay.
Like he went from Super Bowl to I hate football.
I hate football. I hate the quarterbacks. Nobody's good enough. He's still mad at Teddy Bridgewater, and he just threw for almost 400 yards.
Yeah.
Well, the Dolphins, I don't know what their deal is because they looked like a Super Bowl contender. Now their defense looks lost.
But were they a Super Bowl contender when they kind of were chuck and duck and came back against the Ravens after they've been dominated?
Well, what we may have to admit is that maybe Tua had impact.
Oh, he has.
Like we got to.
There is no. Look,
there are people that got to give him credit. They don't want to give it to him.
Regardless if he's Aaron Rodgers or not, in that quarterback room and on that team, no matter where you rank him at, he's a big piece into what they did or was doing well.
He's a big dang deal.
So if I'm Tua and his agent, I'm just gonna chill for a little while.
Man.
Hey, man, what you rushing back for, man? Every day you sit. It's different.
That's true.
When I was up for my contract, every day that you play, you feel like you play better. You're gonna get. The more the less he plays, the more money he getting.
He's going full ride Tidwell.
And you sent me out there with my brain scrambled. Oh yeah, I need a little bit more for that, man.
That's the lawsuit that's happening, right? That's the one that people don't talk about in this thing. That the Dolphins and the league are going to have to give Tua some extra money for this.
Well, they're going to do him like RG3. RG3 went from making accusations about Daniel Snyder.
Mm-hmm.
That would generally get you blackballed.
Mm-hmm.
And then next thing you know, I seen him on Monday Night Football. I mean, he's extended in calling games like no other, like warp speed. The only person that's went faster
Romo.
I was going to say Tony Romo.
Romo.
And he's already kind of worn thin on everybody.
Romo.
I like Tony Romo. Let me ask you this, though, Jay, because I asked Strick about this. I watched the Eagles last night, and I know they're still undefeated, so technically they're the best team in the NFL. I watched the Chiefs-Bills. No one is on their playing field. Like I think those two teams are in a land of their own.
Eagles are right there.
I don't think they can beat either of those teams.
I do think in the playoffs.
I don't think they can.
I think in the playoffs.
Chiefs and Bills are on a different plane.
I think in the playoffs the Eagles will run into trouble. I do. I think they're running into trouble in the playoffs.
Well, running game is what is my greatest concern
for the Eagles.
Yeah.
Well, they can run the ball, but that's where they were in the trouble is Jalen Hurts. Well, if you good defenses, Hurts will be nullified. Can Sanders answer the bell? And then if you take away A.J. Brown, who's that the next guy? Now they have a good tight ends and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the Eagles' second level is a little bit of a detriment. Their defensive line, Eagles always keep 8 defensive linemen that can play. Defensive back, Darius Slay's a lockdown corner.
Mm-hmm.
We saw what he did to Jefferson.
Yep.
But their second level is a little bit.
Man,
I think he's there. I think they're there. I think they're physical. They haven't really beat anybody yet.
That's what I'm
they beat
saying.
Dallas. They stretched out Dallas.
But Dallas came back like Return of the Jedi.
I was cool with that because it's different than if you played.
The Empire Strikes Back.
You're playing. You're up 20-0,
and we were still looking for Luke Skywalker, and he just didn't come out of the water tank yet.
Up 20-0. They got up 20-0 against the Cowboys against that defense that was supposed to be top 3 defense in the league, and Jalen Hurts gave them the work.
Right, but you know what? Though I'm not a Cowboys cheerleader, but you got to give them credit because they came out after halftime and answered the bell. And I'm gonna tell you what they did. And this is the kryptonite, but not everybody has a Jalen Hurts. But you can do it by we've seen this with Purdue. By formation shifts, you can nullify Micah Parsons.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of running away from him and let him be like Lawrence Taylor and just run down everything and blow stuff up, we're gonna run right at you.
Put him right in the spin cycle.
Then we're going to play action you. Then we're going to make you cover. Because he knows he's so superior athletically than everybody, he's never had to really cover. Well, now you got Sanders, you got guys out there that can actually run, and if you just and the Eagles, they're the way that they run, they do run up tempo. So when they're hitting you with like an A.J. Brown who's the same size as you but probably a little bit faster or just as fast, and he can run routes good, so now he got separation. Now you saw a superstar really nullified. Now what Dallas should have done was find a way to say, okay, we're just going to have you do what you do. But so I would actually have put him behind the line of scrimmage, not on because reading those plays from a stack linebacker position would have been, and he can play any position out there. Michael Parsons is one of the only few guys take defensive tackle out of it. He can play every position besides a 1, 2, or 3 technique. He can play every single one of them. So that what that gives you flexibility. I would have took him and put him behind the ball. I would have brought Anthony Barr in because he's used to playing on the ball and covering the flats.
I'd have put him right over center's nose.
Stack linebacker lets you do whatever you need to do. But that's what I would do. But that's
I like that. I don't want to give the Eagles any more credit. I want to give Dallas, but I tell you what, they got me out there. The last 2 weeks,
they came out the box.
They came
out the box. I want to see.
I think the Bills would smoke the Eagles. Honestly,
listen, the Bills right now. The Bills are listen here, man.
Stop. Listen. He don't need you on his right butt cheek.
Dude, I don't like the Bills.
Stop it.
I don't have to say. We don't have to
get off that man's butt cheek, David Brennan.
We don't have to. You know what we do. You know what we're doing. They are going to eat some buffalo wings. Having some Labatt Blues up there. They're going to chill.
I'm independent. I am.
And then guess what's going to happen after the bye week? We're going to welcome the cheese curds in there, and we're going to bust Aaron Taylor or Aaron Rodgers upside his head too.
Y'all wild up in here. We'll close out old school. Set up ticket weeknights right when we come.
Power bomb.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hopcat exists at the intersection of great beer and delicious food, complemented by music, art, community, and comfort. Home to a best-in-class beer experience served by craft beer experts, guests can expect a casual, inviting local gathering place with some of the best damn burgers and fries you'll find in Lincoln. There is no better place to watch any Nebraska game other than the 50-yard line at Memorial Stadium. Hopcat is located at 6th and P in the Haymarket. To plan your next trip to Hopcat, visit www.hopcat.com.
Businesses from all over the capital city are excited to welcome you to the 2022 Lincoln Expo on Wednesday, October 19th from 10 a.m. until 3 p.m. at Pinnacle Bank Arena. Enjoy one of the region's largest trade shows as you network, find out about Lincoln businesses, and visit the many interactive booths. The Expo has something for everyone, including the popular Lincoln Craft Beer Tour and a free Lincoln t-shirt. Best of all, it's free to attend. The Lincoln Expo, showcasing and celebrating local business.
Need to send a message? Send it with cake. Congratulations. Here's a congratulations chocolate rum cake from Beatrice Bakery. Thank you. Say thank you with an amaretto cake. I'm sorry that I accidentally hit your mailbox with my car as I was backing out of the driveway and then continued right into your prized petunias. You say that with a lemon drop cake. Everybody knows that. Beatrice Bakery in downtown Beatrice or online at beatricebakery.com. Here to help you say whatever it is you need to say. Welcome to our world of yum.
Wow. Did you ever save me money on my car?
Yes, that's why our customers keep coming back.
How do you do it, friendly car dealer ?
We simply have low overhead and high trade-in values. The next line's yours.
Oh.
Ready for something better? Mullen Motors is a no-hassle, no-pressure dealership with financing available. Check out the inventory at MikeMullenMotors.com.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
Lose fat, build muscle, gain endurance. Whatever your goal, Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping can help you achieve it. Farrell's offers group fitness for all levels in a fun, welcoming environment. Their proven method combines kickboxing, cardio, and strength training to get you in the best shape of your life. You've heard all about their 10-week challenges, but you can join as a member anytime. Head to fxbeatlincoln.com to learn more. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping at 40th and Yankee Hill or just south of 78th and Pioneers. Casey's General Stores is giving away 2 tickets to each Nebraska football home game this season. To enter, just head to any Casey's General Store location in Lincoln during the football season, scan the QR code at the front counter, and fill out the online form. One winner will be chosen at random 2 days before that week's game. So head over to Casey's, stock up on all your tailgating snacks and drinks, and register to win 2 tickets to a Nebraska football game, brought to you by Casey's General Store and 93.7 The Ticket.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric is the call I make when I have a need for plumbing services. Whether it's for my home or office, if I need a repair to a water heater, softener, or even my garbage disposal, I know I can count on Action to help. In one simple call, their amazing customer service team promptly schedules a service call, often getting to my needs within a day. Action delivers honest quality services we can count on. To learn more, visit actionlincoln.com.
Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Final segment, we'll close out old school. We'll get you all set up for Sam Hoiberg and his guests. He's got Ola Koyenets. He's got Wilhelm Breidenbach tonight. Then you got Kyle Perry right after that. Then you got Rocky Russo from the Stars. He's bringing in some Stars players as well. Then Christopher Ramsey and Nico Schultz. They'll come in and talk track and let you know what's going on. And, Jay, you need to meet Chris Ramsey. Young dude is just yacked beyond words as a sprinter. He's just
I've heard about him.
He's yacked up. I'm like, okay, man, you got to put some shirts on your Instagram. I can't see you like shirtless all the time.
Maybe if I get closer to him, I'll get faster.
I
was driving today and I was just wondering what I could realistically. It's not going to happen, okay, ever. But I wonder what I would run the 40 in.
I would be extremely disappointed.
Oh, I know I'd be disappointed.
I would be
like right now.
Yeah, right now.
I would look like Rich Eisen.
I could beat Rich Eisen.
I would beat him. I would beat him because
I just always wonder.
He has no hamstrings.
I wonder if I could break 6.
I should be able to
just
walk.
Right now, get some high knees, karaoke's, kind of like a little kind of warm up, build up, see what you got.
Yeah,
I think you could break 6. You break 6.
Up until the pins
I know
and
my
needles.
vertical is not good though.
You break 6.
I got no vertical now. That is just the saddest thing. That is the saddest physical thing about me right now.
This is the first summer that I couldn't dunk.
I'm not
Gravity
sure I
just
can
said,
hit
"Come
the
here."
bottom of the net now.
The gravity said that Earth
Yeah.
said, "Come here, Jay."
Yeah.
You already know I can grab rim.
It's like,
well, probably not anymore.
Yeah.
Nate, your claim to fame when you were in like tip top shape was you could grab rim.
How about that?
Your athletic prowess, what you're telling people, is something that you probably need to keep off air. You stopped the guy from breaking Tony Dorsett's record of 99 yards, and you came off the third row celebrating. Got that call back, and then he says, "Man, I could hoop, I could cross you up." He's like, "I was like, could you ever dunk?" He's like, "No, but I could grab the rim."
Yeah, like because
that's not.
Not touch the rim. I want to make sure people don't grab the rim.
Okay,
grabbing
it. Could you dunk a tennis ball?
The Nerf basketball.
It'd probably be close.
Because sometimes, if you can't really
it's tough
palm
to get
it,
the ball up over. Yeah. No, but I was grabbing rim. How about that?
You should just stick to bragging on Carly and her athletic endeavors.
Yeah, exactly.
Have you ever tried to strike her out?
No, absolutely not.
Have you ever tried to hit her?
No.
Have you ever tried to outrun her?
No, I don't want to embarrass myself.
See, okay, so you.
I know my lane. I don't want to embarrass myself.
But she's never said, "Hey, man, let's." She's never brought you out there to humble you.
Just looked you dead square in the eye.
She knows I'll say no.
Hey Jay, she looked him dead square in the eye and go, "Let's go." I understand.
Because when you come home and talk about you bench 225, she probably looks at you like, I'm the athlete here, right?
Yeah,
she is. I can put up a decent amount of weight though.
Yeah, but that's not making you an athlete, bro. That's not how that works. Well, I
still got to see this. I can't believe it.
Well, I'm going to text Carly. I'm like, we need the Carly and Nathan Olympics. We need that.
Won't go well for
that. We need that to happen. We need that to happen. All right, we appreciate you guys. Jay Foreman, thank you. Nathan Brennan, thank you. Harrison Arms will come in and take over the running of this ship. Sam Hoiberg will come in. He's got Olick. He's got Willem. Whoa, we're going to have a night for you here on 93.7 The Ticket.